Essentially, it's been brought to my attention that these rednecks up in Oklahoma are running their mouth, and they think that they are just the greatest thing on God's green earth, and that's awesome for a small town where you've married your cousin. But unfortunately, now that I've cleaned out the entire hood of South Dallas, I think I'm gonna set my sights on the cornfields of Oklahoma and see what these little redneck brawlers are about. They got their beer bellies and their tobacco cans too, and their cousins or wives or whatever it is. And I think I'm gonna go back there and I'll probably fight two of them the same night. I'm not. I watch their videos. If they're paying attention to this, kid, Hood McGregor will show you that cornfield is a joke. Get sent packing real quick.
It's another underground, big underground league. I think they based in Virginia.
Yeah.
DMV StreetBeefs, man. What's your take on StreetBeefs? And
I've actually heard of them. James Vick was telling me about them, and I think that after we take over the inbred population of Oklahoma, we'll be taking our talents to Virginia and running through them as well. I think that that's pound for pound. I don't really care if it's a redneck, a hillbilly, some trap king from Dallas, or it doesn't really matter to me. Like, this white boy takes on anybody.
Anybody can get it. So, at this point in your career, man, are you still, thinking about doing MMA, or you just full time boxing now?
Boxing's just so much easier. I don't have to cut weight. It also pays better. So I think that we're riding this train off. But if somebody comes with enough money, I will utilize all skill sets. These people, they talk about pound for pound and they talk about different things. We fight under specific rules in boxing to keep them alive. If you lock me and have 3/4 of these idiots in the same room, I'm the only one that walks out.
Are you open to doing any underground MMA fights?
Yes, if the money's correct.
Okay.
It's always money. Like, if I'm gonna take a lot more damage in those.
Definitely.
You also have to cut weight. It's a whole different process. I'm open to all of it. It just so happens that I show up. I don't even train boxing. I show up and just run through these people. Like, God forbid the day that I start training.
Let's talk about that too, man. So with training boxing, have you? Because I seen you hit the mitts, man. When you hit the mitts, you seem like you got some form. But when you fight, it's like you just go to war, man. You know what I'm saying? So
I think that with these people, 90% of them, when they start swinging, I'm like, cool. Like, that's what you want to do. That's what we can do. If you notice, when someone fights correctly, I will fight them correctly. Like, if they want to do fundamentals, I'll do fundamentals. But when you just start machine gun fire, like, I know that I have a pretty good chin, and it's been tested by some big people, and they couldn't get the job done. And so, when I know I have that chin, essentially it's okay, cool. Like, you want to swing, let's swing, because I have a good chin and I got a hammer of a left hand.
You do got a left hand, man. That left hand and got a lot of people out of there. Would you say your left hand is like Deontay Wilder's right hand?
I would say my left hand is like Conor McGregor's left hand.
Conor McGregor, yeah. Of course. What's your thoughts on Conor McGregor as a boxer? Because he actually can box.
I think that thing with Floyd was a very tragic display of favoritism. And I think if they ran it back, it'd be a different story. I don't know how you let somebody get a knockout or a standing knockout or whatever it's called when they went 5 rounds with Nate Diaz in 4-ounce gloves, covered in blood, and you never even let him hit the canvas once before you called it. You called it off. That's crazy. But I also, I think that, I don't know. Conor's my favorite. Even when he does dumb shit, I can relate to him a lot in the sense of just, we're very unstable people. Fighting keeps us grounded, and if we don't have something big to look towards, it's very easy to get inside of our own minds and attack ourselves. I like to attack other people in the sense of fighting them, because if I don't and I sit by myself long enough, my thoughts will fight myself.
So, what was your first? Like, what made you start liking Conor McGregor? Like, what was your first when you remember liking him, like what was your first experience watching him or saying, I like this guy?
I think it was just, he's a very polarizing figure, and essentially my thing is that, you know, I've always kind of been like a main character. No matter what I do in life, like people just naturally gravitate towards my energy, and whether it was fighting or clubbing or partying, you know, whatever else. You know, I've been on like 4 reality shows. Like I used to party a lot. You know, obviously I was a drug addict and an alcoholic, but people loved me for it. You know, and you know, I think that when you're a polarizing figure, you know, people can fight, but if no one wants to watch you, who cares? But when you can fight and knock people out really well, and then also dress good, look good, you know, cut cool promos, etc., you know, that's where people start to take notice and transform things from just an underground league to like traveling across the country.
Elevation.
And so I think that the first time I liked him was just realizing, like, I saw a lot of similarities, and so I drew inspiration from that.
That's dope.